Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. Sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
So you want to become a member and you're not sure what that is. Well, becoming a member of the channel is a good way to support me and the channel. And you're going to get some cool perks along the way. So down below, if you'll go ahead and click down there, you'll see that there is only one level and it's going to be called Burger Life. Get it? The play on words, Thug Life, Burger Life. All right. So each month that you are a member of the channel, the burger's going to change a little as we go along, and it's going to represent how long you've been a member of the channel. And you're going to get some pretty cool emojis that's going to go along with this. Now the emojis are probably going to change over time, it just depending on if I get more creative with it, or if I could just find different ones that I think are a little bit more suiting for the chat. It's going to grow and develop, as you know this channel has done every step of the way. And at the end of the videos, we're going to do a shout out, so I will post on there all of the members of the channel at the end of my live videos. That way that you are getting the recognition that you deserve. Guys, and I just want to say thank you in advance for clicking that join button down below. I appreciate it, and I will see you on the next live.
Hey guys, what is going on? Y'all will have to tell me if y'all like that new way of me coming into the show, or if you didn't like that new way of me coming into the show. Either way, I want to know how you feel about it and what you think about it. So over there in the chat real quick, how about throw up a thumbs up or a thumbs down? And look, I don't want you to be worried about like what I may think or what somebody else may think. I want your God's to honest opinion. Y'all know who I am. I really want to know what you think. So throw a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Tell me what you think. StreamYard kind of added this like new thing that I can share videos straight from my PC. So it gave me this like idea that I can bring forward a little intro coming into it. But I still want to know what you think. So today on Throwback Thursday, let me start off by saying thank you for joining me for another Throwback Thursday. I'm going to come in with Superman. I'm going to come in with Superman for one reason only, though, and it's the fact that Superman right now has been hitting pretty big, right, in our retails. Now, we know that they just came out with the 10-inch Superman. Well, they just didn't just come out with it. They came out with him a while back, and it's just now hitting your shelves. So if you haven't seen the 10-inch Superman yet, go to your local Walmart. They're just now hitting the shelves. They've probably been out for about a week now. They got the Chase variants, and then they got the common variant. But I'm going to get this guy open, because after I get this guy open, I'm going to kind of talk about some other things that Funko kind of added to their blog this week, and they added some interesting stuff, and a lot of it's for new collectors. And I know a lot of times I get on here and I speak to everybody like everybody here is veteran collectors, right? Like we've all been collecting for years. That's not the case all the times, right? Sometimes some of us don't know what the terms are. Some of us don't know what supersized is, or jumbo, or whatever it is that they got going on, right? So I'm going to go to their blog, because they kind of laid all of that out for us so that we would understand better as to what they got going on. This guy right here is pretty badass, and I want to get him out. He's one of the Jim Lee, and I don't know if any of you guys had a chance to pick up any of the Jim Lee stuff when it was out. I don't think that they currently have any more of the Jim Lee stuff out on the shelves anymore. It didn't sell that well, for being totally honest, and it was kind of a shame that it didn't sell that well. Jim Lee is an amazing artist, and he's been doing the DC artwork for some time now. And if you don't know who he is, look, write it down real quick. His name is Jim Lee. Write it down real quick, and then go find his YouTube page, because he actually does a lot of drawings and stuff on his YouTube page. Phenomenal artist. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. So when you get a chance, go check him out if you haven't already checked him out before. This is some of the stuff that's coming from the comic books that he's the artist of, right? And he's been DC's head artist for a long, long time. This Superman right here is hands down one of my favorite Supermans, and until you see the one that's coming out next week. This is a pretty fire Superman, though, and this is one of the deluxe Superman. I don't really know, when they start saying deluxe pop versus standard pop, I think that maybe they start to get confused themselves and what a deluxe pop is versus what a deluxe pop is not. But real quick, before we get too far into that, guys, let's do a quick shout out. We had Pac-Man Gamer, who was here at like 10 a.m. Pac-Man, how you doing, brother? Chase's Kingdom, always good to see you. Zach, how are you doing? Cam, Jedi John, Jedi John looks like a new one. I think maybe not. It's good to see you anyways, brother. Reading retail. That's got to be from Monopoly. I see that name all the time and I trip over it. Supreme Pops, what is going on? And then Mad Nudo. I hope I said that right. Zach, how are you doing? And Puff TV, guys, it is good to see each and every one of y'all. And like I said earlier, I truly appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with me on my Throwback Thursdays. I want to briefly talk about this being Funko's. This is what Funko is calling their anime month, right? So February is going to be anime month for Funko. Now, I say I'm briefly talking about that because tomorrow at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, Mr. TechBot and myself will be going live, and our live tomorrow is going to be about the month of anime with Funko. So look, that's all I'm going to say about it. I just wanted to briefly touch on it real quick to make sure everybody here knew that that's what's going on, and then I'm just going to start getting right into their stuff, right? I mean, we're gonna jump right into the nightmare. And when I say right into the nightmare, right? So Funko has what we were calling the Sheriff Deadpool, who is still on here for pre-order. And I'm going to tell you why I think that he is still on here for pre-order. He is entirely too much. And you know how they like to push what the boundaries are for what is too much and what's not too much. They pushed that one a little too far. I think the price of this one was pushed too far. That $25 for a deluxe pop, to me, it's just not worth it. They're not much different than a regular pop. I mean, other than the fact that they put him on the little horse, right? There's just not that much of a difference. And I want to talk about one other thing before I pull up their blog and we start talking about that. But Funko has the Linkin Park album on here, which sold out. And I got to make sure, am I on the new releases here? I am on the new releases, but they're not going to have it up here because it sold out. So the Funko Linkin Park album just recently sold out, so it's not going to be on there anymore, which is, look, if you missed it, I think that you can still go to Entertainment Earth and pick that one up. I'm going to highly suggest that you go pick that one up, though, because it is, I mean, it's really badass. And look, I just got number 6 of the albums in. You'll have to wait until next week to see that one. I'm not going to show that off right now. I don't really know how I picked up number 6 before I got 4 and 5, but it doesn't really matter. That video will be coming out Monday. So if you want to see the Queen's album coming out Monday, make sure that you go and check out Monday's video, because that's what Monday's video is going to be. Moving on from that, like I said a second ago, guys, I want to kind of get into their blog, because their blog to me breaks down some stuff that's questionable, right? I know a lot of times their terms that they use, right, it gets kind of confusing, especially lately, because they changed their 6-inch pop to a 10-inch pop, and then they changed like what they're calling the deluxe. So I'm just going to kind of go over this real quick with y'all because they've added some stuff to this. So they got what they are calling the Super Pop now, which is going to be their 6-inch pops. So if you have a 6-inch pop, they're now calling it a Super Pop. They are not calling it a 6-inch pop. The Jumbo Pops are now what they are calling the 10-inch pops, right? So look, it's kind of wild that they've changed the terms, and I'm going to tell you why I think they changed the terms. Because they're never 10 inches ever. They're look, I love the 10-inch pops. I love taking them out. I love like putting them down and seeing how big they are. Rarely have I come across one that was 10 inches. That's why they've changed that term. Then you have what they are calling the Mega Pop. Now on the Mega Pop, this guy is 18 inches. I don't own any of the Mega Pops. I think they're a little overpriced. I haven't seen any of them that I would just run out and get, if we're being totally honest. And then we're going to move into some other stuff that I'm really not collecting, but I'm still going to go over the terms with y'all in the event that y'all don't know what they are, or you want to know what they are. He says, yeah, Chase said I'd be proud of him. He picked up the AC/DC Back in Black. That thing's really cool. I really like that album. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Chase. That one is still not the Biggie album. That one still is not the Biggie album. To me, the Biggie album is still my favorite. I don't know how long it'll be my favorite, but it is still my favorite. The Deadpool on the Throne, it is, I have not seen it in the 10-inch. They have it in what they are calling the, what did I just say that was called? That is called the Super, okay? So it's not a 10-inch, but they changed the terms of it. Anyways, it's kind of crazy how they changed the names of it, but they did. Now let me pull that page up real quick, and I'm going to go over some of that with you real quick. We have what they are calling we know what the pop pins are. We know what the pocket pops. Those are little keychains that never, ever, ever work as a keychain, ever. ever work as a keychain. Every one of those guys that I've ever had, it falls apart. They just simply do not work as keychains. It's never going to happen, but they're going to continue to make you think it will happen, but it's not going to happen. Then they have, oh, okay, so I'm confused. I have to stop this for a second because they have the pocket pops and the keychains separate. I thought that they were the same thing. They could be different. Then we have the pop pez, the pop pens that are entirely too big, the pop sockets. I don't understand. We have the pop and buddies. We all know what those are. And I think that I have one right here that I'll grab just to show you in the event that you don't actually know what they are. But it's pretty easy as to what they are. So your pop buddies are the ones that always come with a little guy in there. So you see that my Ron Burgundy here comes with the little dog in there. That's what they are calling the pop buddies, right? So when you hear pop buddies, that's what they're talking about. Moving on from that one, then we have the DIY pops, which I think are pretty cool. I think everybody here should at least attempt to do a DIY pop at some point, even if you're not an artist, right? Because there's ways you can do things without actually being an artist. You don't have to break your paintbrush out. You can grab a rattle can. You can dip it in paint and pull it back out, sling glitter all over it. Do whatever it is that makes you happy, and don't try and hold yourself to limits as to what you think art is. So I think everybody should have a DIY pop in their collection. Moving on from that one, we have the pop rides, which are some of my favorites. The pop towns never really caught on, but those are primarily the Christmas ones. They just came out with the Mickey Mouse in the castle and the Walt in the castle. I mean, so there's some other ones that they're starting to come out with, but those are kind of few and far in between. And then you have the pop moments, which those are typically not my favorite either, and I don't have any of them laying right here to show you. We have the Funko Verse, which is that the video game. It's some crazy hard board game that I don't think anybody is ever going to learn how to play. I can't even imagine that they've come out with a board game that is so hard to play. That's right, Puff TV. Absolutely. Hydro dip it if that makes you happy. But everybody should have one and do something with it. And even if it's not a DIY, because I've taken some of the trolls and turned them into like the Joker troll. So I mean, even if it's not, everybody should try one at some point, right? Because it's really not that hard to DIY these things. Elijah, I appreciate you listening, brother. Let's see what else we got here. The Funkoverse is so hard to play that I don't think that it's ever going to truly catch on like they want it to. And then we have what their definition of what they're calling a chase variance is, an alternate version of the same character and a slightly different from the original. And look, they're 1 in 6 is what they are saying, right? 1 in 6, slightly different from the original. I'm gonna see if I can wrap my brain around that. I think that they're trying to change what we think is a chase, and I think that they're trying to change what we think is a 10-inch and a 6-inch and all of that. So they're taking the older collectors now, and they're telling us that everything's changed a little. The chase variances should never be a slight change of the original character. It should be the original character, but it shouldn't be a slight change. It should be a completely different paint job. It should be a completely different sculpt. I mean, something about it should be completely different. It should not be a slight variant. And that's the thing lately that they've been doing with chases that I don't agree with. Lately, they've been taking the chases and making them this really slight variant. They've been calling them chases, and that is not a chase. Flocked is when they come, not with a smooth surface, but with a textured. The diamond and glitter, it sparkles. I mean, they're saying that it adds a glitter coating and it adds sparkle to your collection. I have a few of those. I'm not going to hate. The glow-in-the-darks, glow variants, pretty simple. Metallic, same thing with that one's going to be a pretty straightforward metallic paint job. The chromes, it's another one that's pretty straightforward, and then black light. All right, so check this out. I really wanted to share that with y'all because I really just wanted everybody to have an understanding as to what they're changing their wording to, how they're changing it just a little to say something else, so that we would get a better understanding as to where we're going from this point forward with Funko. So from this point forward, we don't call them a jumbo. We don't call them a 10-inch pop anymore. That's a jumbo. And then we don't call them a what was that other one? What is the 6-inch? Well, I'm going to stumble on that one for weeks now. It is a super. That is so confusing. So we have super jumbo and then mega. They made that super confusing. But anyways, we're gonna jump right past that one, and we're gonna get into our Instagram. Now, I have not really sat down and looked at Instagram since they came out with the. How many of y'all want to look at the Target Con? Have we all looked at the Target Con stuff yet? Have we all looked at that? I think we're gonna browse through that real quick now that I'm sitting here. So let's start off right here. First and foremost, so I'm going to talk to y'all about TargetCon real quick because I don't know if everybody here knows this. When Target has a pre-order, right, at the bottom of the pre-order, you will see a date at the bottom of the pre-order, and this basically means the date that they're going to release the pop. Now, if you'll go to Target on that day that they release the pop, they will have about 4 or 5 of them, sometimes even 8. I mean, I've seen cases where there was at least 8 of these guys sitting there. If you'll go to Target on that day, which for the Target Con is going to be 2/26, so write that down somewhere if you need to write that down. It's going to be 2/26. Target opens at 8 a.m. If you're going to go for Target Con, I'm going to tell you in advance to get there about 7:30 and stand at the door, because if you're there any later than 7:30, you're probably not going to make it in time to get one, because I'm not the only person that knows this, and I'm sure that a lot of you here know this, but I figured if it only helps one of us, right, then I'm doing something right. So get there at 7:30 on 2/26 if you want to get any of these pops out of the Target Con, and that's going to be the day to get there to get these. But I'm telling you, you're going to need to be there at 7:30. 7:30 at the latest is when you want to be there. This right here makes my heart happy. This might actually have me there at 7, if we're being honest, to make sure that I can get there in line to pick this guy up before somebody gets him. Bullseye has always eluded me. It's kind of like that what do they call them? The unicorn, right? That always gets away from me. Every time that they've ever released a Bullseye, I have yet to get my hands on one of these guys. And I have tried. Trust me, I have tried. But I have yet to get my hands on a Bullseye. This year, I'm going to get there on 2/26 at 7 a.m. and I'm going to wait in line to get this guy, even if I'm at the front of the line. If I have to stand there for an hour with my phone and look at YouTube videos about Funkos for an hour, that is exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to sit there and wait to pick up Bullseye. Now, as a flipper, Bullseye always goes up. I am not a flipper, so I don't care about that, but some of you here may care about that. So if you're looking to add some value to your collection, Bullseye is one of them that you are definitely going to want to go after right off the jump. Moving over is going to be this guy from The Simpsons, and I want to say that his name is Otto, but I could be wrong, so don't kill me over there in the chat room if I am wrong. Then we have Tails from Sonic, which is decent. He's a flocked one, so remember that means with texture, right? I mean, they just make sure that we understood what that meant. Then we have this guy. So this is going to be Colonel Mustard, I believe, from Clue, but he does not look like Colonel Mustard to me. This guy looks a whole lot like the guy off of Jumanji. Now, do we all remember the guy off Jumanji who has the gun? And I'm talking the very first one, right, with Robin Williams in it. I mean, the very first Jumanji that has Robin Williams in it. This guy, he's dressed up like he's in a safari. He has his hat on. He's walking around with this god-awful big gun, and he's trying to kill him all the way throughout the rest, about halfway through the movie, right? That's who this guy looks like. So I kind of wish that he was a Jumanji guy and not necessarily the Clue guy, but I still think that he's pretty cool. Oh, he just did not go there. He said, I'll get him with the... Oh, I'm not even talking to you right now. What do you mean with the red card? You can't pick those up with the red card. Quit messing with me. You love messing with me. So he looks like the guy off of Jumanji to me. That's what I think that he looks like. Look, tell me over in the comments if you think that he looks like the guy off of Jumanji. I'm just convinced that he looks like the guy off Jumanji. It's supposed to be Colonel Mustard. And then this one is... God, what was this guy? This guy's something from Candyland. Lord something from Candyland. I mean, you can look at the way that he's dressed and tell that he's some kind of a lord. This one is another one that I'm going to speculate that will go up in value. I'm going to say that this is just like Bullseye. If you want one that you're going to add to your collection to add some value, this is going to be the 10-inch Skeletor on the throne. This one was leaked probably at the very beginning of the year, if I remember correctly. This one was leaked way early into the year. Way early into the year. It looked nothing like this in the leaked form. But talking about leaks for a minute. There's some leaks and some not leaks, and then there's some other stuff going on that I hear that Funko has really cracked down on leaks in general. I hear through the grapevine that they feel like the leaks may have ruined the Funko Fair, and so they are really trying to crack down on their leaks in general. I don't feel like the leaks ruined Funko Fair. I think they ruined Funko Fair. I think they ruined Funko Fair just like they ruined the 12 Days of Christmas. It's there's a saying that this older guy that I used to work with all the time would say to me, and he'd say, "Poor piss planning." What was it? The 7 P's. Poor piss planning promotes. What was it? Poor piss planning promotes. Anyways, you get what I'm saying. It's never going to work, right? And they haven't planned it out properly. They're just not planning it out. And if they are planning it out, they really need to reevaluate who they have planning it out. The Funko Fair, if they would have continued the Funko Fair going like they started from the beginning, right? If they would have done every day the Funko Fair with those two guys riding on some kind of a ride, talking about the pops that were coming out that day, right? And doing their whole little theatrics that they did. Now, I don't necessarily agree with the CEO of a company worried about being on film. He should be worried about like how the company's performance is doing versus like how much the stocks are and all of that stuff. But regardless, they started it off on the right foot, right? The Roman Empire said you always enter the building on the right foot. That way you start off your day right, right? That's how they should have did it. They started off on the right foot, but then they just dropped it. At that point, they said, look, we put all of our energy in this one day, the first day. We put all our energy in that. And every day after that, we're just going to do shout outs, and then we're just going to release the pops randomly. They dropped the ball, and blaming it on other people is ridiculous. Like Chase just says over here, blaming it on the leaks. Look, I just don't agree with it. Nancy, how are you doing? It is good to see you. But they can blame it on whoever they want. That's what they do. That's the nature of the beast. Going back to Bullseye, I'm going to get off this, guys, and we're going to move over into my Instagram. I have not looked at their Instagram in a while. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to sit down with y'all and talk about the Instagram and see what's going on with that. Let's see. I got to end the share of this page, guys. If there's anything that y'all want to talk about over there, how about drop a comment over there? Let me know what you want to talk about. If you've seen any leaks, I have a leak well, I think that it's a credible leak only because we know how they did with the Funko Zombies, right? How they did with the Marvel Zombies. They made all of the Marvel Zombies into little like 3.5 inch. They call those 4 inch, by the way. We all know that they're 3.5 inches, but they kind of started it off with that, and then they moved into this 10-inch zombies that they started to make, and they made the 10-inch zombies, which kind of upset me. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was a little bit upset that they made them first in the 3.5 and then dropped them into the 10-inch, because now you want the 10-inch, right? If they would have just released the 10-inch before they released the 3.5, you'd have never bought the 3.5, but then they released the 3.5, then the Glow 3.5, and then the 10-inch, all of the same pop. Well, there's rumors that they're doing the same thing with the retro pops. Now, once again, I'm saying that there's rumors because Funko has really cracked down on the leaks, right? They're really cracking down. Have I seen the sales at Target? No, Nancy, I have not seen the sales at Target. I just left my house today for the first day in like 2 weeks to go to the post office to mail something off to Kenneth Bird that won like something on the channel 2 weeks ago. So no, I have not seen any, and I don't typically shop at Target a whole lot unless I'm going there for like one pop in particular. So I haven't, but I'll definitely go check that out at some point. She says, oh man, that is a deal, 99 cents a pop. They are definitely trying to get rid of some of them, and that happens quite a lot. I mean, that really does happen quite a lot. I have not seen Funko PDX. I'm going to say something. 2021 ECC has been pushed all the way back till December the 2nd and through the 5th. So any leaks that you're getting on Emerald City Comic Con, to me, I feel like are wrong. I'm going to say wrong because I feel like you're not going to get them because they pushed Emerald City all the way back, which is one of them that I want to attend this year. It's one of them that I am seriously going to try to attend this year. But they pushed it all the way back to December in the hopes that they would still get to do it if they pushed it all the way back to December. Andy Roberts, how are you doing? It is good to see you guys, man. This is a lot of fun hanging out with y'all. But I wouldn't trust anything that they're leaking from Emerald City right now. One, because Funko has really like put the wrench down on the leaks. I mean, and they've let that known. Two, they pushed Emerald City all the way back. So if it was going to be a leak for anything at this point, I think that it would be a leak for the San Diego Con. That's if they're not pushing the San Diego Con back. So we'll have to wait and see exactly like where the cards fall on all of that. But let's check out their Instagram. Is something I haven't done. I'm going to try and shoot all the way to the bottom of their Instagram. So close your eyes real quick while I shoot all the way to the bottom and find where we started off at last time. So let's see. We'll start off. No, we've already done the Funko Fair. This thing right here is kind of cool. So this thing right here is kind of cool. I wish that Funko would cater to us on the East Coast a little bit more than they do. I mean, I feel like Funko doesn't cater to us a whole lot here on the West Coast, and I wish that they would. Right? I mean, I truly wish that they would cater to us a little bit more than they do. But I mean, they just don't, and I truly appreciate that, Chase. I truly do appreciate that. So they don't cater to us as much, but I would like to see something like this on the East Coast, even if it was a rolling display, right? Something that came to my Walmart or your Walmart and then this Walmart. They just kind of kept it moving, right? Y'all remember when they used to do that? I mean, there was a time in the life where they did that a lot. There was carnivals and different things that were they moved them throughout the United States. So I would like to see them move something like that around. Funko PDX says that there's actual pictures. You know, I've seen some of the pictures, and I know that there's some leaks out there, but I think that how do I say this? So, do you ever remember starting rumors about someone? And I'm not saying that we've done it, and I'm definitely not saying it's right because you shouldn't have done it. But as a kid, we've done a lot of things, right? You would start a rumor about someone, or even started a rumor about yourself that was true. And you let it circulate out there and then come back to you so that you could be like, oh, I'm the one that started that, right? I'm not sure that that's not what they're doing at this moment. I'm not sure that they're not actually pushing them out themselves, because I've seen two of them from Emerald City Comic Con. I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the Yoda, and you're talking about one of the Pokemons, which is what stopped me. And I wish I had that picture right here and I'd pull it up. I know where I'll find that picture. So that stopped me and made me look up the dates at Emerald City, because I've kind of been trying to get an agenda together is the ones that I want to run. I want to run some of the cons this year. I've got my fingers crossed that we're going to have cons. I haven't been to a con since C2E2 of last year, which is in Chicago. I'm going to go back to that one this year. That one's coming up here in, I want to say, August. So it made me grab my book. It made me get online, and it made me start looking as to when that con was, because I said, man, I could have swore that con was in December. How could they have leaks for that already? So just think about that for a minute. How could you have leaks for a con that's in December starting today? I mean, that seems a little fishy all on its own, right? I mean, if someone come to me and said, hey, in December, they're going to have Yoda, and he's going to run around on the floor, and he's like the child, and he's going to follow you everywhere you go, I'm going to ask them how they got that information. I mean, how did you know 11 months from today, 10 months from today, that's going to be something that's going to be a thing? I mean, so I think that some of those might be done on purpose. I think that we might actually be putting out our own stuff at this point. We're like, y'all want a leak? Here's a leak that's never going to happen. We painted a Yoda green, and we put it in a green box, and you're never going to see it. But here's a leak for all of y'all to like. It's a lot like the Batman. Do y'all remember when they came out with that 18-inch Batman, and it was the 1950 series, and it was leaked aggressively for like a month or maybe even 2 months before it actually like hit their site? And anyway, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on from that. But I don't truly believe that it's a leaked Funko PDX, and I know that it's on Instagram. I'd like to see Yoda like that. When I seen it, I looked at my wife. One of the first things I said was, "Oh, I'm gonna get my hands on this one." But then I looked at the date of the Emerald City Comic Con. ECCC is so hard to say. I don't even know why. I looked at the Emerald City Comic Con, and it is a long ways out to already start having leaks. I mean, that to me throws up enough red flags that I'm not going to believe that was honestly a leak. Now, this guy right here is not anything new. We've all seen him, but he is really cool. With the Silver Surfer in his hand, they tell me that he is sold out, and he's been sold out here for a long time, but he is still really, really, really cool. I can't even speak right now. All right, I'm going to try and speak again. Combo collectibles is another hard one to say. I do miss the cons too, and I'm really hoping that we start to see them this year. My hopes are with the vaccine that's out there and the people that are getting vaccine, which should be the people that are at the most risk, that they will allow the rest of us to go out and start venturing back into these cons, knowing that we're not at the most risk, right? That we're at the bottom of the risk factor. So that's what I'm hoping for, but we will just have to wait and see exactly what they allow us to do and what they don't allow us to do. I'm not going to like talk about how I feel about that exactly. Ooh, man, see, here we go. Talking about, I'm not going to talk about this stuff. So Carla Dune from Mandalorian was just laid off of her job, and they say that we're not going to see Carla Dune anymore based on some social media posts that she made that then like circulated the world with hashtag fire Carla Dune. And I don't really know how y'all feel about someone getting fired over a post that they made on social media. I don't agree with it. I don't care like what your beliefs are or where your political beliefs are, and I don't want to know, so don't share them with me, and I'm not going to share mine. But I don't believe that she shouldn't have got. I don't believe she should have been fired over a political over a post that she made, and I don't even think it was political. But I don't believe that she should have been fired. I think that was wrong of them to fire her for that. I think that they're kind of prying into her life when they fire her for that. Now, I would understand if it became an investigation. So let's say that I made a post that became a federal investigation and then they had to raid my house. Well, if I get fired over that, well, I mean, that was my own stupidity. But if I get fired over my opinion, I don't believe people should be fired over their opinion. And I believe that's what makes us great as a country. I'm going to move right along from that, though. Look, I'm being really serious, though. This is not going to be a political thing, so don't share your like political beliefs with me. I'll block you for doing that, so just don't. He is available on Amazon. Oh, that is really cool. Look, we're going to have to tell Chris, Mr. TechBot, or Chris, whatever y'all know him as, we're going to have to tell him that because he was just recently telling me that he couldn't find him, which I thought was really cool that he was sold out, but I thought it was really sad that he couldn't get his hands on him. So we're going to have to tell him he could get it on Amazon right now. That way he gets over there and gets it on Amazon. Let's see. I don't think Funko is going to put out their own schedule for the cons. There's too much money. Oh, they're going to. Oh, well, I mean, maybe they won't. And I guess if we're thinking about it on that level, and if I think about it on that level, you might be 100% right. So if they're going to run their own Emerald City, then that very well could be a leak. But if they're going by the schedule of the cons, then I have a hard time believing that's a leak. So look, if that's what they're going to do, just like they did last year, like you just commented, you're probably 100% right. That's probably a leak 100% of the time. But I would think they would follow the cons. I mean, if we're going to have cons, they should follow them, I think. I don't really know, but I think. Let's see. I think that they're dropping early because of COVID. Yeah, I don't know, Elijah. We're just going to have to wait and see. But I think that we're going to see some cons this year. I think that they're going to be a little bit different than what we're used to, but I definitely think that we're going to see some of these guys. Coming into the anime month is going to be another My Hero Academia pop. I think My Hero Academia is probably one of the few animes that I actually get into. And then we have one of these gummy bear pops. This is a Disney pop. They say so. I'm going to move past the Target pops because we've already talked about that. But here they are, just in case y'all want to see them real quick. We're going to go through their Bullseye. Is still on the top of my list, followed by Otto. Then we've got Colonel Mustard. I hope I got that one right. We got Lord something. Somebody throw a comment over there and tell me Lord Licorice. There he is, Lord Licorice. Then we got Tails. Going to be a Flock Tails. We all know that Flock now means with texture, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to have that velvet on it that we had from the old, like, what was that, 80s posters that had the like crushed velvet on there? Maybe it's 80s. Then we got the 10-inch Skeletor, which is another one that is absolutely fire. We just talked about this guy, so I'm not going to talk about him too much, but I still think that he's going to be on their site for a month because I just don't think he's going to sell out. I don't see him selling out this week. I don't see him selling out next week. I just don't see him selling out because their price is just pushed too far. They pushed their price and they did it on purpose. So I think now they'll back these deluxes or whatever they're calling these guys down to 20 or maybe to 24 or to 22. They're going to find the price that we won't spend anymore. And I think they found it at 25 because I'm just not willing to spend that. It's just not going to happen. They spend months and months in advance planning. Oh, yeah, they absolutely do. Oh, yeah, absolutely they do. Yes, I mean, absolutely they do. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm hoping that I hope they stay to the cons. I didn't really like what they did with their virtual events. It didn't do it for me. It kind of upset me in a lot of ways, especially when they came in with the lottery system where they were going to it was no longer fun at that point when they said, all right, here's the lottery system, and if you didn't make it on the lottery system, then you got to go to store to store to store to store to try and get what you want. And so I hope that that's not what we see this year, because I think that if they come back out with more cons like what you're thinking they're going to do, they're going to do them with the lottery system again, and we're not going to all get our pops. And I would at least like a chance at getting a pop. I understand that that's their way of combating combating the bots, and that's their way of standing up against them. But at least when I'm combating the bots, I have a chance at getting the pop. When you take all of the chances away from me, well, then I no longer have a chance of getting the pop at all. So I'm hoping that they stick with the cons this year. We will just have to wait and see where they go. Moving past that, we have some more Peter Pans with Captain Hooks. Guys, I like everything that reminds me of my childhood. This reminds me of my childhood a whole lot. We're doubling down on t-shirts as we've been doing for so long. We got these Valentine's pops. Here we go. How about tell me what you think over there in the comments about these Valentine's pops? I think these things are garbage. Garbage. I think it's garbage with a capital G. I think that they should like spell garbage out on front of them. This is another one of those pops where you change the color of them, you put a candy box in their hands, and you recycle the pop and sell it again. Capital G, garbage. I am not into these pops, and I am really into the whole like Star Wars and the Mandalorian and all of those. One of my favorite lines of Funko, but these are just garbage. I don't know why they did it. I almost think that they should have put these with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They should throw the candy box out of his hand, put him in the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and then I would have ran to pick him up because I would have been supporting breast cancer awareness. They could have did the whole like, here's $2 goes to breast cancer awareness like they did with the Breast Cancer Awareness Pops. I would have ran to get these guys. But just the way that they did them, it's not going to do it for me. I think they're garbage. They're recycled pops. They're just finding another way to make more money. Let's see, R2-D2 sold out. He did sell out, and I was super surprised about that too. I mean, I was super surprised that he sold out, but he did sell out. Here we go with these guys. These guys are pretty badass. I don't care who you are. Pepto-Bismol colors, they kind of are Pepto-Bismol. I mean, look, I think everybody here can agree with me. If they would have taken and they'd have said these are breast cancer awareness pops, for every pop that you buy, here's $1 that's going to go toward breast cancer awareness labs or research or whatever it is that they did. I got some over here, but I'm not going to grab them and read them. But I think that we would have all went and got them at that point. But the fact that you're just turning them into a Valentine's pop, it just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it. Joshua, how are you doing? It is good to see you today. The King Kong versus Godzilla, I think, are going to be some of the hottest lines this year. I think that the 10-inch, the Walmart exclusives, are going to go way up in value, a lot like the 10-inch Chase of the Superman right now. I think it's up to $190 if you go on eBay, is what I think. I think that they're going to do the same thing with those guys, that you're going to see that, not these necessarily, but the two that are the Walmart exclusives, the not megas, what are they calling them? Jumbo now. I'm trying to make sure that I say that right. The photo of the day, we're going to skip by that one. We're going to jump right into the R2-D2 that sold out. To me is still garbage. It's a capital G, garbage. Let's see. Could have made a whole nother special. Yes, I absolutely agree with that. But I think these guys are awful. I'm not into them. I'm not going to be into them. There's just nothing that's going to make me into those whatsoever. Moving past those, though, I'm trying to get into where we're at right now, and this is where I think we are. So this is where I'm going to start clicking through. I don't know what these guys are. That's going to be the picture of the day. I don't get into the pictures of the day. Let's see. Are we into another picture of the day? We are into another picture of the day. So now we do 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures of the day. Still into the anime month. This is going to be a Dragon Ball Z. It's a cool looking pop. They're all designed to be pops, which is kind of cool when it comes to the anime stuff. All of the anime stuff is designed to be a pop, right? I mean, so we already know that. We already know that it's designed to be a pop. Moving on from that guy, we have, let's see, another Simpsons pop. This is kind of cool though. Look, this is cool for a couple of different reasons. He's holding the bottle of glue, right? He has it out. We all know that the next step and what he's about to do, he's about to eat the glue. So hey, look, I think that's super cool, right? Super cool. Oh, I didn't realize it was 420. That was a pretty cool number for it to be. That might have been the reason though why a lot of people bought it, because it was 420. We all know that the next step in this one is him eating the glue. Which, look, that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. I have a few of the Simpsons pops. Like I have the aliens. They were the con exclusives. It was what was it, Kong and Kang, and I have some of the Treehouse of Horror stuff. I kind of like the Treehouse of Horrors when it comes to the Simpsons, but I don't have a whole lot of the Simpsons stuff. It's one of those rabbit holes that if you fall down, before you know it, you've got a whole lot of them, and I've just kind of stayed out of that. Still into the month of anime, we're going to come out with some more Hero Academia stuff. We had some more of these garbage Spell Kids, which this one to me looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie to you. This guy right here, I never got my hands on. I'm slightly still a little bitter at the fact that I didn't get my hands on one of these rats. I thought they were really cool. But look, that goes back to that lottery system, and I kind of missed a lot of them because of that lottery system. The new sodas, man. Let me tell y'all something about these new sodas. All of these guys are sold out with the exception of a few. With the exception of a few. All of these guys are sold out. I just went to Entertainment Earth about the time that I realized that they had these. Y'all know how I am with the sodas. I just recently got to put my sodas back in their home, upstairs, back in their cabinet. And y'all will see that coming up here soon. I just got to put these guys back in their home. And they sold out. All of these, with the exception of a few of them, sold out today already. But that doesn't mean it's over. That just means we have to wait until they go onto the Funko site. When Funko puts them on their site, and then we can maybe try and grab one before they sell out on their site. But the pre-orders at this moment are sold out on these guys. But the tick is still super cool. I don't care that he's sold out. I'm still going to say that he's cool. I don't know who Captain Cold is. I have no clue who Captain Cold is. At zero. Don't know, but he still looks, he looks decent in the world of sodas. Yeah, Jay said he's already got his ordered. I missed it, brother. I missed him. I wish I wouldn't have missed him, but I did miss him. It's okay, though. I'm just going to see if I can grab them when they hit the Funko site. I think that this Chase variant for this Iron Man is one of the strongest Chase variants I have seen in a really long time. When it comes right down to it, I know that they say that there's a slight variance, right? Slight variance when it comes to the Chase variants. This one, when they start taking the helmets off, or like what they did with Deadpool, where the gamer version, he didn't have his mask on. In this Iron Man, he doesn't have his helmet on. When they start doing that kind of a change, I think they're on the right path. I mean, I think that's it. When they do that, I think that's golden in my eyes. Golden. That to me is a chase. That is a serious chase. Moving on from this guy, we have a couple of them that I don't really know. I have no clue who Devo is. Somebody will have to throw a comment over there and tell me who Devo is. Who is Devo? What is a Devo? Is it like a diva? Devo. He has to be a DJ of some sort, just looking at him. So the chase variant, so this guy looks like he's going to have some kind of a glow chase going on, which is kind of weird, maybe slightly. The glows on Pops are just not normally that great. I mean, if we're being honest with each other, the glow variants a lot of the times just don't glow that well. They could glow a lot better than they do. Devo is a band. Thank you, Chase. I truly appreciate that. I did not know who Devo was. I'm sitting here trying to figure out who a Devo is. Who is a Devo? Who is a Devo? Devo. It's an 80s band. Yeah, no, that's probably exactly why I didn't know it, Jack. I didn't really get into the 80s music or the 80s bands or the 80s like hairstyles. I kind of, in my eyes, I skipped the 80s and jumped right into the 90s. So that's exactly why I didn't know who they were. Then we have this, what is this, a Pop-Tart game? Has anybody played these games? Can anybody throw a comment over there and tell me, have you played these card games? Are they fun? Because I have a guess that they're going to be a lot like Uno maybe, or they're just not going to be that fun. Speaking of games, I have a game that I'm thinking about playing, and I'm not going to say out loud right now what I'm thinking about, but I'll get with some of y'all later and see what y'all think exactly on like what games, and see what y'all think about them. But have any of y'all played this stuff? What kind of a card game is it? Is it like, what flavor of Pop-Tart does this look like? I mean, I don't know. I'm so curious about one of these days. I'm gonna just go get one of their card games so that I can see what they're like. I mean, so this one says it's a matching. Okay, so it's you flip the card and you match it. I got it. I don't know that I'm going to be running out anytime soon to get a Pop-Tart matching game, but it's fun nonetheless. This one is going to be, who is this guy? This is going to be another Disney gummy bear. Is that even a thing? I'm so confused. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? What is the gummy bear thing? I don't really know. What is that? That just seems really, really strange to me, that they have like this whole gummy bear thing going on and all of that stuff. Guys, don't forget to check me out next week. I got a lot of stuff coming out. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time is going to be Mr. Tech Bot and myself. We're going to be going over the anime month of Funko. So Funko's got, this is what they're calling the month of anime. So Mr. Techbot and myself will be going over that tomorrow. We're going to tear it apart a little more and try and go over each and every one of them. Now, a lot of y'all know that neither one of us really get into the collecting of anime a whole lot. Now, I like to collect My Hero Academia only because I like to watch My Hero Academia from time to time. But I am so far behind on like My Hero Academia that I'm probably like living in the 90s right now. I haven't made it past season 2. Y'all know how it is. There's a lot of things going on, so it just didn't work. Sometimes you just don't have times for things, and that's just the way that went. There used to be a drink. Oh, all right. So I mean, I guess that's what's going on, but that's a Disney thing. That really seems weird. That Disney has it. So Disney has a drink. I guess that doesn't seem so weird. Disney has their hands in so much stuff that I guess that's really not that weird. Let's flip over to their Instagram and see if I missed anything here in the last like few days. I doubt it very seriously though, because they don't. One of the sad things about Funko and some of the stuff that they've been doing is that they've just been kind of, they abandoned one social media site for another social media site, and I don't really understand exactly why they abandoned one site for another site. So there was a long time there that you could go to the Funko site and you could look at their blog, and that would tell you the latest news and what was coming out. Then they kind of quit doing that and they started using their Instagram. So you would have to go to their Instagram and then you would have to see what they had going on there. I was kind of hoping to pull those guys up, but I guess they're not going to have a picture of those two together. So then there was a time that you could come over to Instagram and this is where you would get all of your news and all of that good stuff. But then they kind of stopped that, right? So then they kind of they went into this. Now all of their news comes out on Twitter. So if you're not on Twitter, then you're not going to get the Funko news. So they abandoned their blogs to go to Instagram. Then they abandoned Instagram to go to Twitter. And I know that it's only a matter of time before they abandon Twitter to go to Facebook. So I'm not following them, and they're running from social media to social media. I don't really understand why they're doing that, but they are. Season 5, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Sometimes you just have to pick and choose what you're doing, and it's one of them that I'll watch it as I have chance, but it's just I'm not going to take time away from making videos and coming on here on YouTube to watch My Hero Academia. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Anybody get their wing? Ooh, is that coming out? That was a really cool Venom. Now, out of all the Venoms that I've seen, that was a really cool Venom that they came out with. It's a Disney 90s character. So Funko PDX is it a drink? I think that we were just talking about it was a drink. Let's see. I don't know. We're gonna move past that though and see what this King Kong versus Godzilla is really, really fire. Tell me, if we've watched the trailer, what do you think? Is it going to be a really cool movie? Is this one that you're going to watch? This is definitely one that I'm going to like go out of my way to see. I wish that the movie theaters would open back up so that we could go back to a movie theater, sit down. I have a fear that we're never going to see a movie theater again, that those days are past us, and that the next time the movie theaters are going to start moving closer and closer to our house with Disney Plus and all of these other companies that are coming out with their streaming services. I fear that the movies are going to come out straight that way, and that's the only way that you're going to get them. Oh, these guys right here are still some of my favorite ones. Still some of my favorite ones. Still some of my favorite ones at the end of the day. Now, the Hot Topic exclusive, I think, is already at pre-order at Hot Topic, or they've already released it at Hot Topic. The construction worker I have not seen at Walmart, and I have not seen, and I want to say, I don't see his name there, but I want to say that he's going to be like a Dr. Sherlock Holmes is what I think that he's going to be. I don't honestly know, but I think that that's what he's going to be. Guys, do not forget to come check out Mr. TechBot and myself tomorrow at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time. After that, at 8, is it 8 p.m.? 8 p.m. he goes live with Mr. TechBot After Dark. I think it's 8 p.m. So at 8 p.m. he's going to have his 1,000 subscriber giveaway tomorrow at 8 p.m. and I will be joining him from that. I don't know who else is joining him, but I'll be joining him for his 1,000 subscriber giveaway tomorrow, and it's going to be at 8 p.m. He has this really cool like Walt Disney, and it's Walt Disney with the Cinderella's castle. If you haven't gotten entered into that one, make sure that you go check out his video. I want to say that it dropped yesterday. Maybe it dropped today. I can't remember, if I'm being honest, but it just dropped here recently. Go check out that video so that you can get entered in to win that. I know that that's a really hot like commodity at this moment. There's a lot of people that have been trying to get their hands on him. He says yes, he hit the 1,000. Yes, he hit the 1,000 subs. Killed it. Killed it. He did really well. Really well. Really well. So do not forget tomorrow to come check us out live, guys. And if you are not already a member of this channel, go check out my membership. It should be down in the description down there somewhere. You're gonna get this little burger icon beside you. If you've been looking at Chase and Andy, they both have the little burger icon. You're gonna get the little burger icon that's gonna eventually turn into a whole burger. You're gonna get some pretty cool emojis. So make sure you go check that stuff out as well. I mean, it looked super cool. I really appreciate all of you guys for coming and sticking around, hanging out with me. It's been a lot of fun today. Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Standard Eastern Time, Mr. TechBot and myself will be going live. Do not forget to come check us out. And then at 8 p.m., Mr. TechBot will be doing his 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So make sure that you get over to his channel and see how you get entered in for that giveaway. I really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out, and I will see y'all next time.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Before we get out of here today, we want to give a quick thank you to all of our Patreon supporters and the members of these channels. And don't forget, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, turn on those notifications, and become part of the Wayne Tech Experience. Because there is no Wayne Tech Experience without you, and we truly appreciate you watching. Until next time, have a good one.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. sound right, boys.